What's up everybody, Brian Tong here, and I think it's time to talk foldable iPhone. So this video is everything we know, and yeah, there's a lot because I think we're at a point where it's getting real serious now, but it might be the only direction that Apple can go to get us genuinely juiced about new phone hardware right now. So what do we know? Well, first up, size-wise, think of this as an iPad mini when it's closed. Apple's first foldable phone is rumored to have a 5.5-inch outer display, which is a little smaller than the current 6.1-inch display that you'll find on the smallest iPhone, which is the iPhone 16e today. And it's expected to be 7.8 inches when folded open. Now, the iPad mini is 7.9 inches right now, so if you take that iPad mini in landscape mode, well, that's basically the size of the foldable iPhone. Now, Apple's goal is to make this as creaseless as possible, or even entirely creaseless, which seems impossible. They just don't want that visible line going through the middle, and I get it. I don't either. I don't think it's actually that bad when I've used other foldables because I've accepted it, but if they can solve that display issue and defy the physical properties of current foldables, yeah, I'm in. Now, what might help that? Well, Apple reportedly used liquid metal hinges to improve its durability and reduce screen creasing. It's gonna be fun to see their behind the scenes in the labs video on how they're going to get this reported creaseless design. The design of these liquid metal hinges are to help enhance the screen flatness while minimizing creasing. You know, we've seen Apple use liquid metal for their SIM ejector pins. That comes with the iPhone, but this would be totally different. It'd be the first time that they actually use it in a critical mechanical part. Now, the device will also have a titanium exterior like the iPhone Pros, but the actual hinge itself will be a mix of titanium and stainless steel. Now, the latest report from a Chinese leaker on Weibo, I know, real credible, but hey, it's out there. It claims the iPhone Fold, which is not the official name, will have a display with a 4:3 aspect ratio that opens up like a book. Now, this makes sense. That's really to have consistency with the outer display and also ensure that it's easily compatible with iPad OS, its layout, and its apps. It's really a more balanced experience between landscape and portrait mode when you turn it in. Also, for me, this is better for IMAX enhanced content that fills out that display. I will say, I thought the first Pixel Fold, I thought it nailed it with that passport style size. I loved it, that aspect ratio. It's been my favorite. I actually missed it even with the larger Pixel 9 Fold display. So if Apple can bring that back with an even thinner display, then yeah, you've got me more intrigued. Now, this 5.5-inch Audi display and 7.8-inch any display that is reportedly crease-free has been reported by multiple outlets and Ming-Chi Kuo. Now, one of the priorities is to refine the display driver integrated circuit, or what's called the DDI, to get an overall thinner design, and that allows for a thinner display panel, lower heat output, and reduced power consumption, which then helps to optimize its battery, and then brings significantly improved battery life along with iOS optimizations and then other components helping as well. So this is reportedly going to lean on its learnings and some of that tech from the iPhone 17 Air. This foldable could reportedly be as thin as 4.8 millimeters when opened up. Now, that's thinner than the current M4 iPad Pro, which is, I believe, 5.1 millimeters thick, and then this new foldable 9 to 9.5 millimeters thick when closed. Look at this. The mind-boggling Oppo Find N5 measures in at 8.93 millimeters when closed and a whopping 4.2 millimeters when opened. But it's a foldable that you'll have to import to get working in the US. Now, the Find N5, this is the clear leader in design and really the most technically impressive foldable on the market today. That's what Apple's competing against, right? It's just a beauty that also shows how far foldables have come in a short time, but it's also a phone you got to import. That doesn't make it easy for general consumers to be like, yeah, I want one. Only like the true techie diehards are importing that into the US right now. Now, Ming-Chi Kuo reports that the iPhone Fold will feature 2 rear cameras, a single front-facing camera, and also a Touch ID sensor integrated into the power button on the side. And that is really similar to what the iPad mini does, which also means that this may not have Face ID to save space internally for this new design. Now, you can expect them to use Apple's own C1 modem for even more power efficiency, but battery life is gonna be a priority here. The iPhone Fold will also reportedly enter production next year in 2026, alongside the rumored foldable iPad/Mac, whatever they end up calling that. That's gonna be an even larger foldable form factor. So both products have entered the new product introduction phase at Foxconn, according to reports. Now, depending on when mass production starts, this new iPhone Fold could launch in late 2026 or maybe sometime in 2027. Reports also estimate that the new Apple Foldable could have a starting price in the $2,300 range, which is a pretty penny, and that would make it cost almost twice as much as the current iPhone 16 Pro Max that starts at $1,199. So you're kind of getting a deal for 2 screens, like $100 savings. Yeah, no, not really. Now, the lowest starting price point will reportedly be around $2,000. So, you know, let's be real, Apple's gonna bump it up a little from there. In a recent video that I talked about really why the iPhone 17 Air is more important than you think, it's because a lot of the learnings from that phone are gonna be put into this foldable iPhone. And I think people are interested in it and will be, but that price, right? That's gonna still be hard for most consumers, because what's the major benefit from a regular iPhone to a foldable that's worth that jump for them in price? It's a little tough. But there's also a user that wants more, that hardcore techie, and has been waiting, 5 to 6 years for Apple to finally do a foldable their way. And also, you can still never underestimate the marketing power of Apple, because guess what? The phone that will make foldables more mainstream than ever is a foldable iPhone. And it looks like these things are gonna be more serious than ever, with a target of late 2026 to early 2027 when an iPhone Fold comes out. So we will see what happens. But look, I would love to hear what you all think about this Apple iPhone Fold based on all these initial rumors and reports, based on what you're feeling. Is it a yes or a pass for you? And why? Hey, put in the comments, and you know what? I'll read them, and I might respond to the more thoughtful ones. I like those. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast with the latest stories and special guests. Plus, you can support all my content with an ad-free version of the podcast, early access to my content, and exclusive content at patreon.com/BrianTong. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.